What's going on, guys? Saints fan here, and today I wanted to talk about knowing which computer parts you should buy. And it really is determined by two main things, and that is the budget as well as the purpose. Now, computers can range anywhere from $300 to $3,000 and even higher than that. So you can really build a computer for any budget. And you often hear people say, oh, well, that's why I can't get into PC gaming because the computer is just too expensive, when in reality that's just not true, but that's a different topic for a different day. And the second part is going to be the purpose of the computer, whether that be for gaming or for other things such as video editing or photo editing. And this is really going to determine what you spend the majority of your money on, because in most cases the majority of the money in a computer build is spent on either the graphics card or the processor. In gaming computers, your most expensive component should almost always, if not always, be your graphics card. Now the reason for that is because you will get the most performance when playing games from your graphics card as opposed to your processor. And the counter argument for that is in things like video editing as well as photo editing, your processor will benefit you much more than a high-end graphics card. So you really need to determine what you're going to be doing exactly with your computer, so that way you can get the most out of your money. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about other kind of not random parts, but other important parts that a lot of people overlook. And I think the most overlooked part in computer building is the power supply. Now you really do not want to skimp out on a cheap power supply. I know it's tempting because it's not a very flashy component, you don't really see it. It's just wires, why spend a bunch of money on it? But if you really think about it, that's what's feeding all of your other components. If that goes out, so does everything else. So you really don't want to put, your $1,000 PC in the hands of a $30 power supply that could just fry the whole thing. So getting a good, solid power supply is extremely important, and you do not want to skimp out on that. Now another thing is how much RAM you should have in your computer. The sweet spot kind of for gaming computers for the past few years, and I'd say it's still kind of there, is about 8 gigabytes. For editing, I think you could definitely benefit more from 16 gigabytes. However, 8 gigabytes will still do just fine. But if you have the extra $40, I definitely recommend upgrading to the 16 gigabytes. RAM speeds aren't really that important, especially for gaming. You're not going to notice any improvement from 3000 megahertz RAM to 2100 megahertz RAM, but in video editing you might notice a little bit. It's not really that big of a deal. Third is an SSD. I cannot stress enough how important an SSD is in any computer build. An SSD will single-handedly give you the biggest performance increase than any other component in your build. So SSDs recently have gone down tremendously in price. You can get a 256 gigabyte SSD for, I don't know, $60 on Amazon. It's ridiculous. And the amount of speed that an SSD will give you over a standard mechanical hard drive is phenomenal. So even if right now you have a pre-built computer and you're looking at potentially, building a PC sometime in the future, right now, save $50 and go buy an SSD and put it in your computer that you're using right now. You'll be amazed. Now, if you're looking for mass storage, because generally in SSDs you're going to get less storage for faster speeds, that's kind of the trade-off. I'm not sure when exactly they came out, but recently I discovered them, is the SSHD, and it's kind of like a combo drive. Once the drive kind of realizes which applications you use and open most frequently, it'll kind of store those in the faster portion of the storage, and all of your other things that you don't really use that often, it'll store in the mass storage. So those are really good. They're only like maybe $10-15 more than the regular mechanical drives. I have both an SSD and an SSHD in my build. Can't really tell you if it's a good combo. I don't really know. I just did it because it was $10 more for the SSHD, so I figured why not. So I'm gonna link 3 builds down in the description below. One is going to be kind of a mid-range editing build, and then the other 2 are going to be gaming builds. One is going to be kind of more budget focused, and then the other is going to be kind of a higher end build. So if you're just curious, looking for a build to check out for either editing or gaming, I'll have those in the description below. You can check those out. And yeah, I think that's about wrapping up the video. If you guys have any questions or comments or criticisms, anything like that, leave it in the comments. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And if you want more content like this, just hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Goodbye.